How we doing, everybody? Oh. It's not been a very busy day today on here. I know wee Flevs was live, but I didn't really see much else. I'm not subscribed to most of the people on here. I just kind of go to the go-to ones, you know. I thought Northern King had been live, man, but the guy must be getting pissed off with it. I'll stick a link in to see if anybody wants to jump on. But how are yous anyway, guys? I hope yous are all well. Oh, what a day it was, eh? What an absolute beautiful day. Meal at an Egypt, man, just went straight in, sleep. Fell asleep right to the now. You know what I mean? It was a beautiful day, though. So how's your week been? So, it's been a bit mental on this recently, hasn't it? It hasn't half. I was just sitting bored out, man, up there. I was like, bugger it, I'll just stick a wee live up, man, see if anybody wants to jump on, man. I'll get a wee half an hour, man, and if it's no happening, then I'll just hang with it. Oh, Lambro, how you doing, buddy? What you saying, mate? Wee Addy gave me a tip today for a horse lammy, and I'm telling you, mate, I could have fucking... Oh, the fucking thing lost. How we doing, Squirrel, pal? Good to see you, hen. Aye, the fucking thing lost today, mate. I couldn't believe it. Don't get me wrong, he lost a lot more than I did. I can assure you that. Aye, but don't get me wrong, mate. It's not just my fault. It's not just his fault, man. I was the one that I'd done a lot of research and whatnot else on it. Lammy, do you know something, mate? What you've just said there, buddy, and I don't want to get personal, mate, but that's a good thing, mate. And I'm not saying it just because of what everyone else has went on. You do good for you. Remember, mate, mind what I said. You know, regardless what's happened in the last, week or whatever, mate, you go and get yourself sorted, mate. You know what I mean? Take a wee time out and you look after you, bro. Because that's the main thing, mate. You look after you, mate. That's what I would be doing, mate. But it's good to see you anyway, Lammy. I hope you're well, mate. Oh, there's a squirrel.
Hiya. Lucy, how you doing, mate?
Oh, bad, pal, you?
Hi, I'm good, man. I can't complain. It's sunny as fuck and really hot, so yeah, I can't agree.
Oh, brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Even if I was working, it's well better than working indoors and everybody coming in giving it, oh, it must be really hot in here. No, mate, I'm in a cave. I wish I was outside, so yeah, I much prefer doing what I do these days. What you been up to?
Well, listen, see the day, but my work's going through we're going through a bit of a lull now. We lost a lot of work and they let go of 12 guys for my work. So it's a case of we're not going to pick up till like August. So every day now we might have like an hour of work, and then you're standing about for the rest of the day, sweeping the floor or painting, and I can't do that. So it got to 11 o'clock today, and I went in and I says, just take a holiday for me. I'm going up the road. I said, I can't stand on the bed. So I come up the road, right? I'm sitting in the house, and my partner's away out with the Wayne. She takes away out the Wayne away out most days, you know what I mean? And I'm like that, crashed out in the chair. That was me, out what I like, missed everything.
But don't do that too much, man, because I know you've no. At least you're able to get sweeping floor duties, if that makes sense. A lot of folk would chuck you all out and say come back in August and think everybody
Well,
would be all right.
this is it. This is going to sound quite big-headed, but it's not meant that way. Like what they're left with in my work now is like the solid core guys, and they don't want to lose them. Do you know what I mean? So they're kind of taking it on. They're taking the hit now because they know for a fact that they do get rid of the guys that they've got now, they'll not get them back. Do you know what I mean? Because us guys we can get work at any time. You know what I mean? I could walk into a job.
That's what I mean. So you're quite fortunate that you just can get to like sweeping floor duty to keep you there at least in a wage until it picks up.
Well, as you know, Hannah, you'll probably be able to get overtime and whatnot else where you are. See, that's where I boost all my earnings. Like, you know, I only work a 4-day week, right?
That's
and then
not bad for being in the position you are with the wee one. Like that's decent. 4 days.
Oh, listen, it's ideal, but like in the Friday, if I want to do the Friday, it's double time, and then the Saturday.
Can I get a job with you, mate?
The Saturday's double time and the Sunday's double time. You know, that's.
Wow, I have to work this Saturday just as part of my rotation. That's shady.
No, don't get me wrong.
Doing what you're doing, buddy. That sounds alright.
Listen, Hen, you don't want to be doing what I'm doing. That's me starting to feel the years of heavy lifting and the years of building things and crawling into spaces and it's no nice, then, honestly.
Nah, that doesn't sound nice. I don't know actually what it is you do, mate, but the overtime you sounds pretty good though.
I'm a structural steel engineer, Hen. That's what I do.
We get just normal. What do you call it? See, there's old contracts and new contracts with what I do. And the old contracts, they're the ones that get all the juicy good stuff. Whereas new contract people, we get bumped. We get just standard overtime rate. What else? We even get less than what they earn as a flat rate.
Wow.
Those Domino's pizza fucking leaflets, they get paid for them also. Whereas new contract didn't.
My stepdaughter, she started with the post there, and don't get me wrong, she started through an agency.
Yeah, she would have been getting good money through the agency, though. To be fair,
right? So, but they've offered her a position, I think.
Yeah,
because she's brilliant. Well, I'm actually quite proud of her, man, for how she's pulled herself in there.
No.
Aye, she's done really well. And see that within itself, mate. You should know yourself, sometimes it just takes a couple of jobs for you to find your feet somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
You have to be a different breed these days to do the job, though, because honestly, the amount of fucking nonsense folk get made to jump hoops, I mean, it's just mad. We've honestly had about 60 people leave between August and now. So about 10 months, we had 60 folk walk out. And that was like, people had been there, like, there's the seniority list, and that folk were walking away that had been there 34 years and stuff like that. It was wild. And now there's just nobody. There's actually hardly any staff at all. It's crazy.
Well, I had went in. I asked for a meeting with management and the owners, like, you know, because I'm not daft. I can see it. I've been through this before. You know what I mean? I've been in the bad end where I've been made redundant and whatnot else. So I asked for a sit down with him, and I was granted a sit down. Scottish and proud, bro. Hope you're well. And I went in and spoke to them. I says, right, after the record now, we're as if I'm talking to you in the street. Do I need to go and look for a new job? And they're like, no, what makes you think that?
Because there's no work, mate.
No shit, Sherlock, look at it there. And they're like, no, we're going to take the hit on the wages. And I says, but it's not just the hit on the wages. I says, we're taking the hit too. We're not able to boost our wages now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I says, and I'll be honest with you, I want to boost my wages, and if you can't fund that, then I need to go looking elsewhere. It's simple as that. No, don't be thinking about that. Promise there'll be plenty when it all kicks back off. I promise you there'll be plenty when it all kicks back off, and we'll make it up to you and blah, blah, blah. But I've heard it all beforehand. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've heard it all before. I've heard all the promises.
They've had all the, we've had overtime stopped for a few months. I think it's been since February, actually, because there's that dude taken over. And now he's just taken over, or it's nearly there, whatever it's called. They've told everybody there was going to be a pay rise. And the board of directors have all resigned, so there's going to be no pay rise unless there's another negotiation, which isn't going to be until December, the decision. And yeah, they're just totally screwing everybody over. They're basically going to be making what would be 4 people's work down to 3 people.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what's known as fucking crunching management. You know what I mean? That's them putting it all into use now. Do you know what I mean? So you speed up. That's just how that's capitalism is at its best time. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Just I don't know. It's just an odd position to be in, because the last time this sort of crap happened with Royal Mail, basically the union came in, fucked up the negotiations, and then it meant that basically every postie got bumped to about £1,800.
Aye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dodgy.
Well, see, this is the thing about the Royal
And
Mail.
when it changes, you'll get the overtime.
Aye, see what when it becomes a user or union delegate, you know what I mean? And sometimes that's a good thing, but sometimes it's a bad thing and all, because
Definitely, I'll agree with you there, mate.
because see, I was in a trade union when I was 16-year-old. Now I'm going back to 1996. That was the first kind of trade union I had joined, and that was me right until 2008. And then when I lost when I took my redundancy and that, I didn't go back in the union, but I've just joined another union there, and the reason why I'm joining it is it's just to keep my arse safe.
Aye, definitely, mate. That's the only reason I joined the one at my work. And I've stupidly put myself forward to be a rep for the sake of, like, we don't have one in the office.
Yeah.
And it's when somebody gets marched in to get into some sort of bother, you've got somebody can come in with you and witness it. Eh?
Well, I done it too, and I done it in the place where I served my time. I was in there for 28 years. Right. And I was one of the union reps in there too, and wow, it opens your eyes to a lot of things. But what I was going to say there was, it's good on you, Toddy boy.
Oh, nice one, mate. He knows the script with it being a decent job back in the day.
Yep. Well, see that then. What I did notice is that you'll probably see this yourself, especially with trade unions. It's all about them getting the coin now. It's not about the men getting it. I mean, what I've noticed, I went toe to toe with union delegates when I was the thing. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, we need to get this. And all it is, if you look deeper into it, is them trying to get a bigger say and whatever else, and they're not doing what they should be doing. I can remember trade unions years ago used to go to company's house and get all their information and blah blah blah. And now when you say that to them, man, they're like that to you. No, we don't do that. And well, why not? Do you know what I mean? It's because we need to incur the cost. I'm like, well, why are we paying you money then? Do you know what I mean? But It's all down to money now these days. These trade unions, they became in the 80s and the 90s. They were so powerful. You know, they had a grip of the Britain's kind of working class, and nowadays they've no. Do you know what I mean? Because people are starting to wake up and see them. But like nowadays, and I would never go on.
It's just funny like, nobody knows what's supposed to be happening in Malarkey. Like nobody.
Yeah. See that's what they do that for.
Everything's changing them, but nobody's got a clue. Like supposed to be voting on X, Y, and Z. What your pattern will be for like working going forward. Oh shit! I don't know what. Marty, get in here! Oi! You can. Sorry, my dog's trying to escape. But they've now all of a sudden they're like, no happening. We're not talking about that anymore. Stop what you're doing. But nobody's said to stop. It's all very cloak and dagger at the moment. So I'm just having a laugh. It's the summer.
You see that there within itself, and that's they do that for a reason. That's to create the discontent between all yous, and that's so all yous then start to turn on each other. You know.
Aye, man, definitely.
That's what that's for, Hen, and it's to break a divide so yous don't stay together as a unit per se. Do you know what I mean? I've seen it all my days, Hen. I've seen them doing all these tactics. It's unreal. It
really work less hours in the summer and work more hours in the winter. It's called seasonal variation, but for some reason this summer they've just canned it, so we're still working more than. Because it was one of the news starters came and pointed it out a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh, that was canned ages ago, but nobody, good luck in getting an answer as to why that's happened.
Aye. Well,
you can't make sense of your payslip half the time, eh? They take money off for this and money off for that, but it's just 3 letters, but you'll not be able to find out what the 3 letters are unless you go in a fucking mad hunt.
Well, it's funny you say that, Hen. I'm gonna look. I was reading up on something today. And it's basically about it was a guy who went to court against these. I can't remember. No, it was a. Listen, I don't want to butcher it. It was against these. He had to go to court. Basically, they were saying that he owned his house. That's what it was. And he owned his house, right? But if you look into it, he didn't own his house. Basically, what the banks do is if you get a mortgage with them, they're still essentially the owners of the property until.
This where like a guy, ex-military and stuff, turned up outside the house to help him against the cops. Is that who you're on?
No. This is something else. This was a guy. This was a guy for Ayrshire, I think.
Right.
And basically, he started using universal law, right?
Yeah.
And he found out that the courts are governed by this. Basically, it goes down to the Federal Reserve in America, right? And apparently, back in the 70s, our money was backed up by gold, but now it's backed up by the Federal Reserve dollar. So basically, every decision made in a magistrate's court in Hangway, that's what it's kind of basically for. So this guy went and said, right, outlaw. This guy went and he went in and he's basically put it to them. The long-winded Hangway, basically. I'm a natural man. I'm no this person who they're saying it is. That's no me. That's no how I am not a corporate entity. Blah blah blah. And he's won his first case.
Brilliant. That's fantastic because I've seen something similar where if you've got a property and it's got mortgage, you can't remember what you do, but basically devalues the value of the house. So the bank are just like, whatever, we're not bothered about that anyway.
Yep. Well,
that was short and operative.
He was able to get the process started of them putting this debt, i.e., onto him, and he was able to use his own the debt that what do you call it? The Hague. Well, do you know the Hague and that? Basically, when you're born, you give a birth certificate, but on the birth certificate, that is basically them saying, right, we can take a loan out in your name. That's basically what that is.
Yeah,
They can.
it's the same with your car, the certificate of origin. You apparently don't actually need a registration plate or a driving license unless you are going to, carry passengers or...
Yes, if you're travelling.
Yeah, but people need the certificate of origin for the motor in the first place, which gets taken away from the car, I believe, when it gets brought into the country. So what are the places you buy a car from? Showroom, it's those guys.
Yeah.
They get the certificate of origin in replacement for a whatever it is, registration for your...
Aye. So that's my next move then. That's my next move, is to look into... I mean, this... Apparently, when you're born, it's like a £7 million thing that they can take a loan out in. The country can take a loan out with the International Monetary Fund.
Yeah.
Right? And then by the time you hit 15-year-old, they can change it to 36 million. And then by the time you hit 30-year-old, you can it doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles. Now, see that money? They've took that out on your English. So if it's on your name, then you can access it. And this is what this guy's done. It's the
same as that whole, what is it about court? If it's in capital letters, that's you, but if it's no you. Yep. Sort of like...
I've never done that, Hen. I've never answered to a capital letter of me. Never. Even when I didn't know it. And I don't know how many, look, when I was younger, in my heyday, I used to think that, I wasn't scared of the police. It's not a big man to say that, mate. But I never had that fear. You know what I mean? And I used to question them on everything, respectfully. But I don't know how many times I was up at court and your court summons would be there and I would go in and my lawyer's like, right, don't say this, I'm like, no. All I'm here for you is to keep me out of jail. That's it.
Yeah. And
I would say, that's not me. I'm the living person. That's not me. And they would, but that's you. And I'm like, no, it's no. I'm the living person. Know that. That's titled heading. I am not. I never signed that. I never gave you permission to use that. And it gets through it, like, you know. Just don't get me wrong. It was stupid wee crimes, but it just shows you it can work if you know universal law, if you know common law. You know what I mean? And this is what all these courts are governed by, because they cannot trump universal law.
It's the knowing the word as well. I remember Brian Harvey in a live stream, and he was like way deep into that, showing you what the legalese they're called. Basically, blew my mind. Basically, showed me a solicitor is no better than a legal translator, so they didn't actually ken the law. They can just read it and understand it for you. I would think, wow.
They're actually a lawyer who's got a YouTube channel. I can't mind his name, right? But he's actually quite good. He's actually, he comes out and tells you, I mean, see, all your TV license and your gas, your electricity, just see like your amenities for to keep a house going. See when they start sending you bills and letters and all that, he basically can break down the letters. He lets you send him them, and then he can tell you if the letter is fraudulent or if it's not. And I don't know how many times the guy's been like, that's a fraudulent letter. I don't know who's typed that up, but it's certainly not been a lawyer. And then they send it back, and then the case ends, because one simple mistake these people make, and it fucks a case. Do you know what I mean? So that guy's been able to save people a lot of money, and he is quite good. I'll try and get his name for you here. You can watch him, man. He's really good. Yes, he's really good at what he does. Oh my goodness, it's still fucking sun's still splitting the trees here. I went walked around to the shop pen, and it was fucking still clammy as anything.
It's decent. Nah, it's still a wee bit sunny here, but it's getting a bit cloudy. Wee bit breezy too, but I suppose that'll keep midges away.
My wee one, that's her away to bed. My partner just was like, I'll take her to bed, you know. She gets to a certain time of the day and she starts rubbing the eyes and that, but we've been trying to keep her up later, you know.
Yeah.
And then that's her now. She gets there about...
They're hard, but hey, I always find it a lot easier when it comes to getting them to go to bed and that, whereas my lassie, nah, she'd fight to the death to not go to sleep, like.
She's definitely a fighter. I'll tell you that. Hen, she hangs off. If she's still up by about 7:30, that's her. You know, you need to take her down because you see her. She just gets so crabby. She is one crabby mare, man. When she's tired and hungry.
Yep.
Aye.
Of course, it's going to get agitated when she's tired and hungry.
Oh, honestly, she's got this temper on her, man. I don't know where she gets it from. My partner says it's for me, but I don't think. Oh, what a temper she's got on her. She's going to be a big lassie too, hen, honestly. That's her just turned 1, and that's her nearly walking.
Oh, wow, that's decent.
Do you know what I mean?
A good age. Some folk get their brims walking too far, quick, and you think their wee bones aren't ready for it.
Yep. Well, that's her. I think she's maybe a couple of weeks off it then. I think she's maybe definitely a couple of weeks off it, and that's her. But don't get me wrong, she's been quite quick with a lot of things. She's been like, that's her starting to say like names, just like on the thing where like daddy, mum, you know. She only says that. It's quite funny. She only says mum when she's tired and wants on to eat. She just goes mum.
Yep, mum.
Anytime she wants to carry on or a fight, she shouts dad. Aye, it's unreal. I love it though, hen. I'll tell you what. I thought I was actually a bit worried when we found out, because of my age, you know, I'm getting a bit older, but it's one of them, innit? You've just got to roll with the punches. Well, can I go and stick a charger on this laptop then? So what's your plans tonight, pal?
Yeah, taking my dog out.
Sorry, hen?
Taking my dog out.
Oh, you're taking the dog out, hen?
Yeah, off the road, so it's not bad. Different places, to be honest.
Yeah, you just jump the motor
in the town, if that makes sense.
Aye, you just jump the motor, hen, and just go?
Yeah, either that or he gets taken up to the golf course, which is just up the road. That's within walking distance, but the rest of it, you're better taking the car.
Aye. That's what my partner used to do. See, when she stayed in Dumfries, she'd just jump in the motor with the dog and drive. Sometimes she would drive 15 miles just to go to like a forest park or something like that, and she would just go walk with the dog.
I'll do that occasionally. I would go out and do it earlier if I was going that far, to be honest.
Aye. See, we don't get as much time now. Well, to be fair, my partner doesn't got a lot of much time now because she is like the sole. She looks after her child. You know what I mean? That's one thing I will say. I go to work and that, but she's with her all the time. And I'll tell you what, I take my hat off to her for what she does, because I know what I would have folded by now. You know what I mean? But she's one thing I will say, she's a brilliant mum. That's one thing. Sorry?
I say she's a good woman too. Did she not come all the way down to Stranraer to get you?
Yes, she did. Yep. And she was actually missing me. I was like, me? Aye. Well, I'll tell you what, and I wish I'd have met her fucking 30 years ago.
I don't know, might have been different people at that time.
Sorry?
I say you might have been totally different people at that time.
What? we were.
So you may
I
have
was-
maybe got on as well as you do now, eh? So everything time
I
for a
definitely
reason, I
was.
guess.
Well,
Man.
she would have I know for a fact she would have walked by me 20, 30 years ago. She would have walked by me. I was just a fucking idiot, man.
Yeah, what do you mean you were?
That's true.
Man.
I was one of the boys who thought he was the biggest thing since sliced bread, you know, nobody can beat me kind of thing, you know, one of the boys.
Yeah, man.
A couple of years later, I get found out that was a severe fucking underestimation by me. You know what I mean? But, aye, very lucky, hen. Very, very lucky guy for what I've got now. I've actually landed on my feet for the first time in I don't know how long.
That's a while sometimes, eh? To be
Well,
honest, the early 2000s and the fucking mid 2000s were a bit rough all round. They had the banking
They were,
crisis
huh?
in 2008. We were all
Yep.
freaked the hell out with 9/11. There was some crazy stuff going on if you look back at it, to be fair.
That was a change of consciousness back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was everybody was probably wondering about with what's the word? Suppressed subconscious anxiety and stuff. You know, you're not thinking about it, but that's there in the background. So yeah,
Yep.
it's a good time all round, man.
Totally agree with you. Hen. Totally agree with you. It's
There was a lot going on in the streets with folk dying, you know, like drug dealers that were supplying the whole of the country and that.
aye.
Remember when that happened at Tampayton, boy, it was a mad time.
It's I don't know, hen, man. It just seems as if they're trying to start that these days. I know. You seen all these blackouts that's happening, hen?
No, what do you mean? Where about?
So you've not heard, no? Well,
No.
apparently in Spain this week there's been 2 or 3 blackouts.
Oh, these aye,
Global
right. Well, this is interesting, right? Because I was in Spain on holiday in the 90s and various other places, and I always remember that being a thing. Like, they've
Aye.
never been that great with tech, shall we say, especially the electricity. You're always walking out at night time for a wee bit of dinner and you're hearing this thing and you look up and it's fucking somebody power to their house and you can just hear it and you think, oh, wow. But yeah, rolling blackouts in Greece, I've always been accustomed to that. Going there and it not happening is quite...
Well-
like, oh, there's not been a blackout this holiday. We've not had to like go and find a restaurant where the G's got something going on, like a coal pit fire or a generator, do you know? So I don't know. Could this be a psyop, Wishy, is where I'm going with this, mate.
Listen, this is what I was just going to say, right? Because,
It's
right,
turn it off.
you noticed, right, and I noticed it on TikTok, right, and I've noticed it on Facebook, but all these people that are now, they've obviously noticed the thing, but right, and that's them starting to come up with, oh, you need this battery pack for the blackouts coming.
Yeah, we'll start pushing products from China, perhaps. Yeah,
Yep.
man.
I'm going
Actually,
to,
that's funny because I seen an article, because I don't read a lot of news anymore. I get a lot of my news from a friend that I trust who does journalism, but he does it for himself, if that makes sense.
Aye,
He's
aye.
a freelance journalism. So he does no swayed anyway, and he was so right during the lockdowns and stuff, when finally got to meet him again. He said, let me buy you loads of beer, mate. You were totally on the ball with everything you said. He posted a thing and it was about what the general consensus is, and it was a list of stuff to buy. You should have these 6 items.
yeah.
Blah, blah. I didn't even bother reading it. I was like, oh, the preppers are out in force again, guys.
Well, this was,
all the stuff I bought 10 years ago, probably out of date now. Better throw it.
well, it's funny you say that because I don't know when, it might have just been after the year there. Me and my partner, she said, I want to start getting stuff. I want to start getting spare, because I can pick up on trends quite easily. You know what I mean? I can pick up on things that's just out of the normal realm of thinking. And I said to her, I says, there's definitely going to be a civil war here in the next 3 years. I says, I can see it. And
I
then
don't know.
I think it is, hen. I'll be honest.
I've been thinking this for a long time, and there's always stuff kicks off, and they always let certain things happen, and I do believe they're letting what's going on in Ireland happen. They're letting like the people that are angry, they're letting them get out their system.
Well,
Well, orchestrated propaganda, eh? It's like so many times I've sat in the past 20 years crapping my pants thinking, oh my God, the nuclear warhead's this, oh my God, we're all going to die that. And to be honest, I do believe it's all vastly, mostly propaganda. And most of what we see in the news probably isn't even true. Eh?
well,
Given all the
I
AI
think a
stuff
lot of
that
it's
we be making now, how much have they made in the past, Wishy?
Aye.
Hmm?
Well, I think it's all connected here. And hear me out with what I'm trying to say. Right.
I've just been doing too many rabbit holes, mate.
I get that sort. Listen, Hen, I've been there and I've done that. And sometimes you jump on things that once you're sitting, no thinking about it, and then you think, oh fuck, man, I was off there, you know. But
yeah.
I'm man enough. We're all fucking man enough to admit when we're wrong, you know. But what, in my opinion, right? Obviously, you hit the nail on the head there about Ireland, right? They're now starting to speak up, but the Irish are just doing what they know how to do. You know, that's their only way forward, because they know they're at a stage that's a lot further forward than we are. They're not scared of the police. They're not scared of the government. They are not scared of anything, right? And that's where they are. They're now at the point, right, well, if you're not listening to us, we take it to DEFCON 5. And I take my hat. Don't get me wrong, right? There's a lot of things that happen, but there's a lot of bad things that happen during that time and all. And it's, I think, and this is just my opinion, by the way, I think we are one bad decision by Keir Starmer away from a civil war. That's just my opinion. I think I genuinely do think something is going to trigger people to come together. Now, these blackouts, right, that they happened in Spain, and they've been happening all over France, right? Now it's hot on mainstream media channels about the blackouts here. So that's us, that's them indoctrinating straight away to waiting these blackouts coming so they can then fire in some more laws, you know. Now
back to the Rona bingo card again. Do you remember seeing that, Wishy? It was a wee bingo card that was floating about, and it was the aliens, blackouts, and we're back to that game again. Yay! I suppose it's been 5 years, so.
Well, they made an asset, right? And if I'm a globalist, I think they made an asset with the UFO thing with America. I really do, because, well, I'm saying they made an asset. It's good for us that they made an asset. Do you know what I mean? Because the way they have pushed this out and the way they've made it look as if, you know, it's all whistleblower stuff and all the rest of it. They've made it look as if it's not true. But credible guys are coming out now saying it is true. But then I'm looking at it, I was like, but you've never, these guys, I'm like, you've never spoke about this before. Why not? You know, you've been great to give us all, you've been great to give us all your opinions up to now, but no. And then I started reading, do you know that guy called, I think it's somebody Greer?
Oh, Stephen Greer.
Yeah, right.
He's got the glasses.
Aye, so I started watching some of his stuff, right? Just to get a grasp on what type of person it was, right? And then after like spending 2 weeks watching stuff and kind of doing a wee bit of investigative stuff myself, and then I find out that the guy is actually Jewish.
Oh, what?
Right? And he's also funded by a Jewish what do you call it, like a monetary fund thing. And that Jewish monetary fund apparently is the ones who supplies Mossad. So it's been made that he's a Jewish asset. Do you know what I mean?
So a proper psyop there then, eh?
Yeah, massive. But listen, that's who runs America now. It used to be England. England used to run America, but it's the Jews now. That's just my opinion, and I don't have a problem with the Jews. I don't like war. I really don't. And this, we can all have our opinions on Gaza and Israel and all the rest of it. See, when kids in that are being killed, that to me is wrong. It doesn't matter on what stance it is.
Oh, definitely not, mate. People don't deserve to be caught in the crossfire. It's just alarming that you've got, like, this isn't a joke, because, like I said, for a long time I've steered away from news and stuff because I just get fed up. Especially after the biggest summit 2020, we'll never ever forget that. The craziness. Where was I going with that? Oh, it's totally went in my head. Nah, I don't buy into it, but the worrying thing is hearing somebody like Trump asking Germany to, like, get their military built up, you know? Come on, guys, let's have a repeat. Yep. And then the German guy coming out and being like, yes, we're going to build the biggest army in Europe.
But this is it here. This is what a lot of people don't know. Do you know that America still runs Germany?
Oh, I can believe that.
No, they do. Because remember when it split into East Germany, West Germany, then the Russians, they had a total capitulation of the Soviet Union, and when they broke up, they made that deal. Listen, we'll leave this part of Germany if you don't make another move with NATO, right? And they gave them the country back. So America has had their fingers in the German pie since after that.
Right, I suppose.
So, and that's why they're doing that. Because look at Poland. They took off the shackles of imperialism maybe 15 years ago, and look at how they're thriving.
Poland are now, mate.
They are thriving. I like to see a proud nation, right?
I'd like to go there, to be fair, and in a push it would be my country to migrate to, shall we say, or immigrate to.
Right. Well, my personal self, right? I would say I kind of push towards the right? But I also like some things that the left do too. So I'm kind of probably more just a wee bit towards the right. I think common sense comes into that hen. I think that's why, there's a lot of common sense. I think the left is misguided by false promises and
towards stuff a lot of the time isn't actually there.
Yeah, I definitely do. And see all this leftist narrative, this LGBT, all that stuff. See, when they started bringing all that in, and that just made me even go further right. You know what I mean? Oh, excuse me. Anyway, you having your dinner?
Me?
How is everybody?
Did you ask me if I was having my dinner? No.
I thought you were having your dinner there.
Oh, no, I'm not having my dinner, mate. I'm just sitting drinking a coffee.
Oh, right. Well, I'm sitting here with a bottle of Dunn's soda and lime.
Nice.
Right, and I've not had it. The last time I had soda and lime was at a pub. So I seen a bottle out there when I went to the shop. I says, I'm going to have that with some ice and a pint tumbler. So that's my nectar for the night. So when's your next rave? When's the next rave you're going?
Well, the one in Rosyth's not until November the 22nd, but I've asked Gav to give me a shout the next one. Don't know where it'll be.
I know there's the Foo Bar's been happening in Stirling.
Yeah, I was surprised they were having a rave in Stirling of all places.
Oh man, the Foo Bar, that's one of the biggest clubs in Britain at one point.
Wow, I'm genuinely surprised. You know,
Oh,
with being a
aye.
university place and whatnot.
Honestly, hen, man, I've been to the Foo Bar, I don't know how many times. It was a really good place to go, and it was a big, what kind of base for uh, that hardcore rave, you know what I mean? Susie, how
Yeah,
we doing, my pal?
yeah, Susie.
Good to see you, hen. Uh, and that, for years and years, that's what it was, hen. It was just this hub, and then it started moving towards Edinburgh, you know, like the Royal Playground and all that, the Royal Showground, sorry. And that's where they started having all the resurrections and stuff like
No,
that, you know.
that's the ones my big sister went to. See, I was just too young, whereas my sister went to the ones at Ingliston. You remember the phone box there, eh?
Yes, I can remember it all, hen. Many a 24 hour I done in there.
Wow, brilliant.
Oh, listen, hen, man, I go back to it. I can remember one night, it was the Resurrection Pyramids, it was called. And I can remember when in this one tent all night. And then I was like, I need to sit down for a minute. So I went and got a glass of water, got a cup of water, and I sat down at the fence. And I woke up 4 hours later. I just crashed out in the fence, man. And this lassie came and shoved me. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I am brand new." Then I was just having a wee nap. And then I looked, there were like fucking 20 people next to me all day.
Oh,
How we doing, house, bro? Good to
if
see
you
you,
look
mate.
here on YouTube, man, there's I've seen videos of Resurrection in the 90s. People have posted them.
Oh, it was some place to be. It definitely was some place to be. Oh, listen, Hen, I wanted to go back to that Northern Ireland situation. Sorry, something's just come into my head. Right, I don't know if you've noticed, in the two people that's in the new house and Susie Wong, you know, it kind of affects them. I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just maybe overthinking, but it seems to me that the the attacks, let's call them the attacks, right? They're the people standing up now. It seems a lot more coordinated now, if you can understand.
Yeah.
And that to me, I'm like, today is non-Irish as well.
Aye.
I
Oh,
don't.
really?
You've
Didn't
got me that
know.
one, Hen. I don't know what you're trying to say there, Susie Hen. But how we doing, Steve? But see it does. It seems to me as if the people are now starting to form under one kind of state, and that is all these people know. You know, to come together against the government or to come together against the police. And in my opinion, people will not like it. Right? Well, 100%, mate, 100% house. But it just seems to me that we still have this mindset of the police, you know, Irish don't have that. They really don't have that, man. They're more wondering at the paramilitaries, do you know? And I think that might be the reason why it'll take us longer to stand up.
Yeah, man, too many people. I watched the thing earlier today. It's a guy I follow on, I think it's Facebook or Instagram. I'm sure his name's Paddy something. But he's like, he's for your end, and he's like, we didn't need racism and riots here in Scotland. We've got enough going on with sectarianism. It's like when folk come here to Scotland, we're too interested in one side or the other, try to get a Rangers top on the other guy or
Yeah.
get a Celtic top. So
It's just all
we feel
separation,
nothing's
man,
going to happen here in Scotland. But if you hear the way he puts it, it's actually true enough. You're like, wow.
Listen, there's Susie just put a link in the chat there, by the way. And if any are wanting to know,
Next one, thank you.
yep, it's I'm going to actually go and have a look at that myself. I'm going to go and hang with that, and that's what I'll do after I come off of here, is go and look into that. But I think, Susie, it's see, this is it. We don't know how lucky we are, Squirrel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Because we've not had the police take up arms against us. You know what I mean?
We didn't get a chance to. Anytime anybody tries to do anything in Scotland, it's pretty much wrapped up pretty fast because there's only a wee handful of folk that have got the cojones about them to actually stand and be counted these days. It's pretty sad.
Listen, Hen, I admire the Irish. I really do. And my reason for that is fundamentally their thoughts are for the right reasons, and that's why they're willing to put themselves on the line. And that, to me, that hangs with me, that resonates with me, because I would love to stand up and put it to them. But I know I would probably be the only guy that would do it. And that's why I'm saying I think we are maybe one or two bad decisions with Keir Starmer away from a civil war.
Nah, that's wishful thinking, wishy, man.
Well, this is it. Housemate.
Quiet pockets of, what's the word, resistance in areas around the country, and unfortunately, like I say, I just don't feel there's enough people willing to stand together to actually achieve anything.
Yep.
Especially in Scotland, there's actually not a lot of us up here. Like, there's cities in England that have got more folk than the whole of Scotland.
Susie, Neil, see what you're saying there. That there is the media, mate. They're good at chanting out the racist thing way to take away the why, the real reason why he's are doing it. You know what I mean? That's the easy thing to do, is shout racism and all that. It's bullshit, mate. Absolute bullshit. And that's why I say I admire your courage to go up against them. I really do, because that's something that I would love to have him over here. I'm in fear now. There isn't enough people that would do it. You know,
that's my issue as well.
And I can say something to now, Hen. I know for a fact that if it did, out here we just wouldn't have the numbers. Do you know what I mean? We wouldn't have the numbers, and it would get dealt with so quickly. But but this is another thing that gets forgot about. What these people are going through to, you know what I mean? Being treated as sometimes third-class citizens in their own country.
Oh, that's it. Eh?
Even in Southern Ireland,
you want, but when to be throwing your weight out.
Right, they're being treated, and there you go. It's probably another. See, this is where I've got my hang up on these people. Right, there you go. Right now, they've just built a lot of new houses in Russia, right, and they've knocked down all these big towers to build normal housing on the ground. So we're trying to get out of the house.
We keep revamping these buildings and passing them off as like livable. We keep painting them to this direction. Saved from demolition seems to be the thing all the time, and all they're doing is then building houses in places where they probably shouldn't be.
Well, what they've done is through certain channels I've found out that the next 40 houses that gets built over there are going to Ukrainians.
Oh, of course.
So I'm so angry at that. The local people,
because there's people and kids in positions where they need to get out of, as in they've just a normal family and happen to need one extra bedroom, going for a one bed to a 2 bed, or a 2 bed to a 3 bed, and they're not getting them.
Yep.
Other people are getting them over them, and they're being made to live in cramped conditions. Like, he's not my brother, but he considers me his big sister. Pays his rent, his cell, blah blah blah, having his missus work, and they're being refused a bigger house.
Susie, 100% hen. 100%. You're right there, hen. Everything, our day-to-day dealings are, our life is, we're being made to go behind in lists because these people. And I don't hate these people. This is the government's doing. This is the government's doing. They're just all these people are doing is capitalising on the weak-minded government that we've got. That's all they're doing. With all these people coming out on the boats and that. I mean, I watched a thing on GB News, right? There's thousands of them waiting in camps out there. Waiting in camps in France. And the French let it happen.
Oh, yeah.
They sting in me camp and then the next minute they're like, as soon as I step foot into Britain, I've got my benefits will start on this day and that. They've already worked it.
Thing is, though, Wishy, anybody that was trying to point this out, like, years ago, because it has been going on for years, they were called conspiracy theorists. And then I noticed there was an account on Twitter.
I hate that word too.
I know. It's only these days a conspiracy for about 6 months. And then it's like, see, it was true. And now it's too late because they've changed all the laws.
There's another thing, Susie. I totally agree with you 100%. See, Susie, what I would say is, see guys who are about 38 upwards, that's the guys that will go to war with these people. But the younger ones, they're all snowflakes in.
This is true. We don't seem to have a very tough younger generation, do we?
No, it's, as I say, it goes back to that what we were talking earlier on. It was a total change of consciousness. That's, you know what I mean? It's a fear element, you know, and big things that happened in the world totally changed your mindset on things. But see, with all the different things now, the leftist community, I mean, people are being radicalised, man, in universities now. You know, gone to, and I'm not saying Muslim radicalised or Islam. I'm talking about leftist.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely 100%.
Fucked with it, man. They are fucked with it, but it's happening in Britain now, you know, because you actually.
Right, I started an OU degree just for something to do, right? I was like, fuck it, I want to go back to like studying geography. I really enjoyed that at the school. It was like my best subject, so I went to do it, right? And fucking stupidly took environmental science on the top of it, and all it made me do is rage quit halfway through the second year because I was like, this is just a load of bollocks. All I'm doing is arguing with this science because it's so lefty nonsense.
Yep.
And it's been like that from the day dot, you know, of the course. And I was like, no, I'll be able to write it. It's fine. So I do intend, because apparently with those courses, with it being online, you can pick it up, apparently. As long as you do it within 40 years or something ridiculous like that, I might go back and do the geography bit, because that's enjoyable. You know, people of the world and that, bit of hill looking, bit of trees, but not the science bit. It's so lefty, it's unreal.
Well, see, you might not agree with what I'm going to say here, but university, and for what I can remember and for what I can think, they were a lot more conservative thinking in the unis.
What's the word? Have you not just realised that most people you know that have went to uni, unless they've actually done something like law, right, something really handy, they generally don't have a job to do with the degree they've done, and they don't know much outside of the subject they studied either.
Yeah.
So I always think people in the real world, the university life's always the best degree to be having, shall we say.
You know, my dad was a very, very big Orangeman, and he didn't care. He voted Conservative all his days, right? Even when they were fucking his left, right, and centre, that was just down to his beliefs. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
was just down to his beliefs, and that's when he was like, nah, this is what I believe, and they'll come good. You know what I mean? But nah, it's I've actually stopped voting here.
Well, I saw the damage. I was like, fuck
It's not worth
it. I do for the local guy here because he actually does give a crap and was really handy during the lockdowns, like signed a passport for me, whatever. I hadn't even met him, but he wanted to see a fellow Ger make their way on their holibob during the pandemic, so fair play to that guy. So I always make sure I go and tick his name when it's that kind of voting. But apart from that, I don't give a fuck.
Do you
I
know
just
who?
enjoy it because it's
Anybody else live in it?
Pardon?
Is there anybody else live?
Oh, I've no idea, mate. I've no. Oh, wait a minute, TNK, let's have it. But I don't know if that's starting now or in half an hour. No, 30 minutes. So he's gone live in 30 minutes.
Aye. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to hit this in the heat now.
No worries, mate.
I just thought I'd do a wee. I was even going to go for half an hour, man, but I've enjoyed a wee chat here.
It's good to hear for you.
We'll do another one on Sunday night. We can get another one on Sunday night, and we can get deep dived into other things. But thanks for coming up.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me up.
Thank you, Hen.
You too, and have a good evening, chat. I'll speak to you on a bit. Take it easy, man.
Right, everybody, thanks for coming in again. This was a wee impromptu one. It was just sitting bored, you know. But big up all ye who came in. House, Susie Wong, Outlaw King. Thanks again. Toddy. Steve McGeary, you know, all the good people. But I don't know what's going on here. Have a good day, guys.